Good morning. It is 7:15 and I'm on my way 6 miles to McDonald's. My hunger is restored, but I've definitely learned my lesson from yesterday, so not gonna go too crazy and order just a few things at a time. The plan is to hang out for a few hours. I really need to recharge my battery bank. It's empty. I have a 20,000 and it only charged my phone 4 times. So I think one of the cold nights might have zapped it or something else with it. I'll have to keep an eye on it. I might need to replace it. But anyways, I really need to recharge that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm also gonna buy like a Subway footlong for dinner and buy some snacks at the gas station. And that'll get me the rest of the way until Brightwood. Down there's the campsites that everyone is at. So yesterday I did a baby step towards cowboy camping and I slept without my fly. Bad decision. I did not anticipate how much condensation there was going to be out here in the desert. It was more condensation than we've had so far on trail at all. I woke up at midnight and my bag was already super wet. So I actually put my rain fly on in the middle of the night at like midnight and did it in 30 seconds flat in the dark. So clearly I've gotten good practice with that. We wanted to see the stars, but the stars weren't even that good. I think we're still too close to LA. Too much light pollution still because it wasn't very good. I've definitely seen way better in the Sierras and even not in the Sierras. So yeah, but anyways, had to put my fly back on and then slept better, but definitely have very wet gear this morning and we'll need to find a place to dry it out. Wow, we are literally walking underneath the power line contraption. I don't know what these things are actually called, but anyways, that's a new experience for me. Oh dang, look at that standstill traffic over there. Good thing I don't have to drive. I get to walk there. I've decided on my order. I'm going to order 3 hash browns, 1 breakfast burrito, and orange juice. It's gonna be amazing. And then hopefully, after sitting around for a while, I'll be hungry again for lunch. Haven't decided exactly on what, but I think I want a large fries and a McFlurry, and then maybe something else. Maybe they have salads. I don't know. But it's gonna be great, and hopefully I'm not gonna overeat this time. I take it back. I think what I thought was standstill traffic is actually a slow-moving train. Downhill from here, downhill from here to McDonald's, where I will eat so many hash browns. Downhill from here, it's all downhill from here. Downhill, 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 downhill. It's downhill to McDonald's. Okay, here's the real freeway with real cars that are not standing still. My pack has decided to start squeaking today, and it is driving me bonkers. Can you hear it? Ah! I think it's because my pack weight is so light, or something is packed in a weird way. I don't know. But every step it's creaking. I don't like it. I've definitely reached very hungry. Even though I ate so much yesterday, I didn't eat dinner, so I haven't really eaten anything since 3 p.m. yesterday. And that was fine yesterday, but now I'm like, I need more food. It's a good thing I have less than a mile to go, because I have reached sickly feeling levels of hunger. My body's like, how dare you walk without eating? Don't worry, body. It's coming. Speed walking. Because McDonald's is very near. Speed walking. So hungry I'm close to tears. It's plain to see that food is nearly here. So speed walking. Because McDonald's is very near. Made it to the sign. I'm so close. Off trailing. I just got trail magic. An apple and a banana. I'll eat the apple today and eat the apple. Wow, I can't talk. I'll eat the banana today and I'll eat the apple tomorrow. But right now, I'm gonna eat McDonald's. It's here. I see the sign. Listen to this. My friend Connor from back. Alright, hitting the gas station for some snacks. Not for now, but for my resupply. This is an outrageous price. Back on trail. Going through a big scary tunnel. Hopefully it's echoey. I like when it's echoey. This is creepy. I don't like it. It's too long. And I'm by myself. Okay, I'm 5'7", and I'm still gonna need to really duck to go underneath here. This is quite low. There's the PCT sign. Okay. Alright, so I'm back on trail after like 3.5 hours. It is close to 1. Actually, I guess 4 hours. Whoa, sorry. Something in the bushes startled me. Anyways, I ate a lot, but I managed to not get too full, which is good. I'm just pleasantly full. I picked up way too much food at the gas station. Never resupply when you're still hungry. Yeah, I definitely didn't pick up like 1.5 days worth of food. It's more like 3 days of food. Plus I'm now carrying 4 liters of water because this is a big dry stretch. So altogether, it feels quite heavy, mostly just in contrast to this morning, because this morning I was basically down to my base weight. I had like very little food and only 1 liter of water on me, so it was very light, and now it's on the heavier end, so I don't think it's unreasonable amount of weight, but it feels a lot heavier in comparison. The plan is to either do 6 more miles or 11 more miles. There's basically 2 camping opportunities. I'd prefer to go to the 11 because I think it makes tomorrow easier, and then I can Nero much more easily. If I only do 6, then I'll have to work a lot harder tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. It kind of depends on how I'm doing with water and just how my feet feel. It's gonna be all uphill, which is gonna be a little rougher on my legs. I definitely struggle more when there is an extended section of doing the same thing, like all uphill or all downhill, and I think uphill is a little harder than downhill, so especially with the extra weight. So we'll see, either 6 or 11. There's no rain forecast for today, but I noticed some upward turrets on these stratocumulus clouds, so I guess I wouldn't be super surprised if it's sprinkled. I don't think it'll be a big sustained weather system or anything, but basically if you see upwards movements on the cloud, that could mean that it builds up enough to cause a storm cloud of some kind, versus stratus clouds have downward movement to create a storm cloud, but it doesn't storm as bad. These are weird looking rocks. Get over there too. Don't mind the train moving past, which kind of kills the wilderness vibe, but alright, so one story from the McDonald's. Backstory, I think this is pretty common to most hikers, but I get asked a lot, like, where am I going? What am I doing? And I think, and this is by like casual people who aren't hikers, I think everyone gets some of those, but it does seem to me, just with conversations from other people, that I get asked like a little bit more often than some other people. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman or I look particularly approachable, but like it's pretty common if I walk into like say McDonald's or something, like I'll have 4, 5, 6 different people from different groups talk to me about what I'm doing and stuff. And 99% of them are super positive, just amazed by it, think it's cool. Well, just had an interaction with this man, and he kept asking me questions about it, but he was really like incredulous, like, what, you're doing that? And he kind of wouldn't let me leave the conversation. Like I was trying to go hike again, and he was like kind of following me, asking me more questions, kind of being pretty petulant as far as the questions he was asking. And so he's like saying like, well, what are you gonna do if you see a mountain lion? There's bears are dangerous. Like, what are you gonna do? And first of all, like, I'm just like being polite and being like, oh, you know, you don't see them very often. Like, bears are more scared of you usually. You just act big and loud and stuff. So I was like giving polite responses. But like really what I wanted to say is like, they don't make me feel as unsafe as you are right now by not letting me leave this conversation. Like, I'll take the wilderness over these random questions from this guy that wouldn't let me leave. But anyways, that's not common or anything. It's much more likely to have a really good conversation. I'm in an echoey tunnel. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can. I forgot a part from the previous story. The thing that made me mad, like not mad, but kind of like, is, so he had found out I was a teacher. I told him that. And then when I was like finally leaving, he goes, well, this teacher needs to get taught. And I'm just like, screw you, old guy. Like, I don't need to get taught about mountain lions and bears, and especially not by you. Okay, somebody who is a geologist, tell me about these rocks. They are so weird. Dang, I can see how even this beginning, not a steep part, could be super, super challenging in the heat. It's a high of like 62 today, and it still feels pretty warm and exposed and no shade. So man, like if this was even 80 degrees, it would be a huge slog, and 90 and 100 would be way, way worse. It's crazy how just what day you go through a section can really make a difference. I'm sure this is going to be a hard section for me too, because it's almost all uphill and I struggle with that a little bit. But wow, it would be way harder if the temperatures were higher. Plus it's a super big dry stretch, like 23 miles, which is why I'm carrying so much water. Wow, this is really beautiful. Even with signs of civilization in the background. Kind of looks like the face of a gorilla. Okay, I've been warned about this section, so I expected it to be hard. And it is fairly steep uphill, but I did not expect. It's just how amazingly beautiful it is. There are flowers everywhere. You can see for miles. It's amazing. Wow. Wow, I just had a break in the middle of a red ant hive, and they didn't even bite me. Thanks, ants. This is so amazing. Honestly, some of the most beautiful terrain I've seen. My strategy is to walk pretty slow for this section. More a 2 mile per hour or 2.5 mile per hour pace than the 3 mile per hour that I've been generally doing the last few days. Mainly because I both am carrying more weight since I'm carrying more water, and because I am going more steeply uphill. So I'm already going to be stressing my feet more than usual. So I think the best way to handle that is just to not stress them out with my speed. I have about 2 miles to go to, I think it's like Swofford Canyon or something like that, something Swa. And I don't think I'm going to stay there. That was the easy option of like 11 miles today. I think I'm going to push on, but I'll at least take a half an hour break there, and I'm hoping there is water in the water cache. I don't really need water, but what I would like to do is at least drink half a liter and then refill that half a liter so that I'm hydrated, and not having to worry about hydrating myself from the water that I have. I mean, obviously I'll be drinking my water too, but it'll just make things a little easier. I'm planning on taking a break in 1.5 miles, but I found the one shade that I've seen this entire time so far, so I'm going to sit in it for a while. I still do not like those clouds. That one right there especially kind of looks like a forming anvil. I don't know if it'll come over here though.
There are two.
Alright, so I just passed the water cache where I could have camped, and my feet are already bothering me a little bit, but that's precisely why I think I need to push on, because I just don't think I should leave that whole entire climb for tomorrow. I think that would be really bad. I'd rather just take my time today and break it up and just do 5 more miles. I do have to climb 2,000 feet in those 5 miles. My foot's already a little painful, so it's not going to be fun, but I'm just going to go really slow and take a lot of breaks, and hopefully that will set me up for success for tomorrow. Not gonna lie, I am feeling a little bit nervous about it, but it is what it is. I gotta get to Wrightwood somehow, and I think this is my best strategy for success. Sign in the trail register. It's a good safety thing, because that way people know how far you've made it if you ever were to get lost. So it's definitely possible that this could be my first time camping alone. I think some of my friends are interested in just staying at that water cache and camping there. They haven't totally made up their minds yet, so they might still be coming. Ultimately, I need to do what's best for my body, so I'm going to push on. And if that makes it that I have to camp alone, so be it. I've done it before. I can do it again. But yeah, it's just a possibility. We'll see. So earlier, we got some raindrops from a small, tiny cloud, and that definitely looks like an anvil to me. If you don't know what an anvil is, it's when a cloud goes all the way up to basically the top where clouds go, and that's why they flatten out like that, because they can't go any higher. I'm not for sure that this is an anvil, but it certainly looks like it's developing into one, and that is the sign of a storm cloud. It's possible it's just not coming over here. I think the wind is actually going away from us, but anyways, still an interesting development. I do like that I was right on some of these clouds and the fact that we just got like rained on just a tiny bit. Well, I'm not thriving, but the good news is I'm also not deteriorating. My pain is about the same, maybe even slightly less, from the Swofford Canyon that I was in. I'm just really trying not to hurt myself on this extreme climb like I did for the Idlewild one. So I have some enforced rules. Number 1, mandatory pack off break sitting down every mile. Number 2, I'm just throwing a ton of weight onto my trekking poles to try to take some of the weight off of my feet. And it's working pretty well so far. I have about maybe 2.5 miles to go, and I'm going to be hitting the 350 mile mark pretty soon, which marks the end of half of the desert, which I'm definitely paying attention to and looking out for. Way down there is the highway where I ate McDonald's. It's amazing how far I've climbed already, a few short miles. So I've officially passed the 350 mile mark, which is significant because I have done half of the desert. And it's interesting because I'm listening to a podcast right now. It's a Christian podcast called The Porch, which is basically just sermons on like young adult issues. But it's interesting because the episode that I was listening to was about our bodies and like how, you know, we have too much focus on our bodies and self-esteem and all that kind of stuff, and how we are actually stewards of our bodies and it's given to us to worship God with them, basically. And so it just made me kind of reflect like how I'm doing that with my hike, specifically with my feet, because I mean basically it was this huge long shot for me to even do this hike because I was super injured, couldn't even hike 3 miles when I started because it hurt so bad. And now here am I at 350, and how that's, you know, not through my own personal strength, but through God giving me that ability and basically a gift, granting it to me. So just, you know, every mile makes me thankful. I know not everyone who watches these is Christian or anything, so I'm not going to preach at you, but just something I was listening to and thinking about. And long story short, I'm just really grateful to be out here. Personally, I'm Christian, so I'm really grateful to God to be out here. It's so amazing, and every mile I get to do is such a gift. So for my feet, it's definitely the combination of extra weight plus steep uphill. That is the thing that like brings it over the edge, and unfortunately the weight is just not avoidable because it's a big water carry, a big dry stretch, and I can't, especially because my feet have issues, I can't just bring the bare minimum of food either in case I have to take a break or do lower miles or things like that. But anyways, it's just so amazing. Like, so the terrain is slightly less steep now, and I've drunk half a liter of water, which is 1 pound, and like my feet feel way better right now than they did most of the climb up. Like, it's really amazing how even such a small difference can make a difference. But I think now I'm like pretty good to camp, and I mean, I'm gonna eat dinner, I'm gonna have breakfast, I'm gonna drink more water, so I'm hoping tomorrow will be even easier, even though technically I have more of a climb tomorrow.